So apparently, on the seventh day, God made very mediocre horror movies. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Chris, and tonight I checked out this new-ish horror movie, came out a few weeks ago, called The Seventh Day, written and directed by Justin P. Lange, starring Guy Pearce, Stephen Lange. So the movie's about this young priest named Daniel who's new to demonic possession, and aged and experienced Guy Pearce is going to show him the ropes as they wander around the city looking for people that are possessed by demons. And then they stumble upon this child who perhaps murdered his entire family because of his possession. And then hijinks ensue. So this is a competent movie, but not really very entertaining. It is competent, but boring in just about every way because it's so predictable. You've seen these kind of exorcism sequences and everything. Although at times this movie wavers into cheesy and campy territories that I wish it would have went for, because that was much more entertaining. But I think the problem is they weren't really going for anything cheesy. It's just that stupid sometimes that it comes off as cheesy. This movie is deadly serious most of the time, and the writing here is just not very good. The scares are cheap and not suspenseful. Stephen Lange is here, but sprinkled throughout, and he's a great actor, but it's very clear they don't really have him for very much, so he's very sequestered, and so he doesn't really get pulled into the story too much. Guy Pearce is a main character throughout, but it feels like they didn't have him very long either, as he's not really part of a lot of the sequences. He kind of just shepherds this young new priest into the scenes and then stands in the background or disappears. This is going to be one of those movies that you're going to have higher expectations than you should simply because of Stephen Lange and Guy Pearce. These are great actors who've done very big movies, very recognizable, very talented guys, and with that, your expectations are going to be high. Now, that being said, the production quality is good. The camera works fine. It has a very dreary atmosphere it's trying to build, but the script and the writing and the acting kind of go against the look a lot of times, so it doesn't really fill you with the feeling I think that they're trying to convey. Guy Pearce is fine in this role, but the other lead, Vadhir Derbez, I believe is how you say his name, he's bad. This acting is not good, and it is pretty much all on his shoulders for the most part. When Guy Pearce is in a scene with him, it's like I get it. He's a very, very experienced actor, and a lot of people would look amateur compared to him, but this guy just doesn't have the chops, I don't think, to pull off what they're asking for in this movie. That being said, the writing's not good either. There are moments of just cringy dialogue, and getting into an exorcism movie, there is a level of suspension of belief that you have to go in with, or at least I need to. I don't know if you're religious or not and this stuff is believable to you, but it's not at all to me. So I'm going into it expecting some sort of ridiculous exorcism stuff. But it's even beyond just let's accept the fact that people are possessed by demons. This movie goes beyond that to where it's let's just have the characters do this and do that and then never have to explain why or blah, blah, blah. Let's have all these people getting murdered and then act like it never happened. There's supposed to be this plague of demonic possessions happening all around the world, and these characters know because they're priests and they're involved in demonic possession and exorcisms. But throughout this hour-and-a-half long movie, there's people getting possessed left and right and murders happening because of these possessions, and then you would have to stop and think 2 seconds after that, the cops are going to show up and they're going to want to blame someone. Because in this movie, it's not explained that the general population is aware of these demonic possessions. So I don't understand. All these people are getting killed around these priests. And it's fine. It's demons. So nobody cares. What? Another major problem with this movie is it opens with 5 minutes of Keith David. And you don't open a fucking movie with Keith David and then get rid of him right away. The dude is amazingly charismatic. And I'm going to be entertained by no matter what he's in. And then to kill him off right away, it's like starting your movie on a super high and just dropping that shit way down. It's super disappointing. And I'm serious, because Guy Pearce, Keith David, Stephen Lange, These guys are popular because they're so charismatic and likable. And then you bring in the main character who is like a cardboard cutout of a person that they're placing in scenes because he's so dull and boring that it legitimately like hurts the movie in a lot of ways. It's very predictable. There's a twist at the end, but if you didn't see it coming, I don't know how you didn't. It's like you're walking headfirst towards a train barreling at you. Like, it's completely unavoidable how you wouldn't pick up on the twist. And then they have scenes where they're pretty much trying to remake The Exorcist a little bit near the end. And why are you trying to compare yourself to the best example of an exorcism movie? I get you're inspired. I get there's a bit of an homage there. But the whole time you're just thinking like, I should just be watching The Exorcist. Which I probably wouldn't feel if there was some more originality to this thing. But everything is so kind of tropey and predictable and has been done so many times before. And that's kind of why I said earlier when it went into campy, cheesy territory, I was kind of more on board because it felt more like a Constantine type thing. And it was kind of fun, it was silly, and it seemed like if the movie wouldn't take itself so seriously and would have went more in that direction, I probably would have been way more on board because we've seen so many freaking serious exorcism movies. But there's not that many like silly ones like that or fun campy-ish ones that I can think of. So, especially with big actors like this. So that would have been something, I don't know, I probably would have liked more. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this, but we should say the production quality's good. The production team did show up and do a pretty good job with this thing. But ultimately, I think the story is kind of weak, the acting's not very good, and it's just so generic and predictable that it's really not worth your time. So, alright, so that's going to do it for the 7th Day, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if there's anything I should be checking out, and I will catch you here next time. Goodbye.